Hello. It's been a while. So, treated myself. Probably shouldn't have done, but it was on offer, and I've been eyeing up these bigger panels for a while. Decided to go for the LG 45-inch GX9 OLED, 165 Hz, 5K, 2K screen, 21:9. Yeah. I'm a bit intimidated by the size of the box. Yeah, it's big. Right, I'm going to unpack it. Let's see how we get on. Right, so I've just popped the seal. What we got? Okay, so we've got a stand on top. Have we? Oh, what's this? What's in here? Let's have a look in here. Nice box. Oh, I think it's power supply in it. Blimey, that's heavy. Jesus. Wow. Okay, so it's everything. So power supply. We just look at the size of that thing, man. Wow. That is enormous, but then I suppose it's probably got an enormous power consumption. What we got here? HDMI. I'd imagine that's probably a 2.1 cable. It would have to be, wouldn't it? 5K. So we've got one of those. We've got USB-C cable, which is quite interesting. Not the sort of thing that you normally get with monitors. And the display port, which is probably the one I'll be using. Right. As you can see, by my room, I mean, all this used to be downstairs. My build has changed a bit since I last did a video. There's actually my old case there. Very old case. It's actually got a Windows 98 build in it now, would you believe? Then the two panels that I decided to keep, my third one I'm trying to get rid of. Another LG panel, same size as the one there. Just don't use it enough, so that's going, but I'm going to keep the other two. And then, right, so what have we got then? I actually don't know if I've got enough room to put this together. I might have to like periodically pause this, just because this room is very small. I only live in a 2-bed property, and the second room is quite a bit smaller than the front one. I used to have my PC downstairs, but yeah, I've since got cats, and my cats are not very, what would you say, technology friendly, and I like to look after my stuff. So this old, let's put this out here. Right, so that's your base, which I am going to be using. It's quite heavy, you know. Mind you, I suppose it needs to be really. Right, I'm going to pop that down here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. We've got like the back of the stand, the back of the monitor stand here. God, again, that's quite large as well. Yeah, I'm going to pull that all out and probably put the stand together, and then we'll get the panel out. Probably just say that like the stand goes pretty much together as you would imagine. It's very heavy, but yeah, slides on top of this piece, and then you've got 2 screws at the bottom. So I'm just going to nip those up now. Okay, so that's the stand. This is the top. I'm going to take this off and just put this on top of my chair. There we go. Right. Okay. Wow. Look at the curve on that. I think. Trouble is, I can't hold my phone and record this and get that out of there at the same time. So yeah, I'm gonna pull it out and try and get it on the stand. So just bear with me. Okay. That was a struggle because I had to pick it out of there on my own, obviously, and yeah, look at the size of it. I mean, it's absolutely enormous. So there's a 52-inch version, not OLED. I can't remember what the model is now. Similar sort of thing, same sort of resolution, but it's 52 inch. So you're talking, I mean, if this is 45, 52 is going to be like out here somewhere. Yeah, non-OLED VA panel, which is kind of what put me off it, to be honest, because it just doesn't feel, it feels more like a sidestep rather than like a full-on upgrade. So I thought, no, I'm not spending money on that, even though it's not out yet anyway. So I went with the OLED, and I'm kind of glad I did, because like, look, like, genuinely, like, my desk is not small. Obviously I've got my computer on there, but like, look how much room this thing takes up. It's enormous. Yeah, when you compare it to, bearing in mind this one is a 32 inch, that's the 45. I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? Look at that. Sorry about the lighting in here, it's not great. Yeah. Right, I'm going to try and get it hooked up. This has got the world's most massive power supply for a monitor, I should think. Huge, great big cable on the end. So I've just plugged in, sorry about the quality, but I've just plugged in the cable here. A display port there. The HDMI ports are at the back there. I'm not going to be using them at the moment. And the USB-C cable, which I would imagine powers the two USB 2 ports on the bottom. You got your HDMI's over there. I'm not really sure how I feel about it being right on the bottom like that, but it is what it is. You get this cover to like cover it up. So I'm going to pop that on if I can. Don't know how easily that goes in. Oh, it just clicks in. Some lugs at the top. Is that on there? Yeah. So there you go. Take this off. I think that's for the RGB lighting, which LG seem to put in. I mean, it's quite nice. There's some criticism about this monitor online about the build quality of it, but I don't see the issue personally. I think it seems pretty decent. You know, I've had high-end TVs that are no sort of different, really. I mean, maybe it's a bit plasticky at the back, but it doesn't seem like badly made or anything. And the stand is decent, so yeah, right. I've just realised my camera is like all over the place. Plugged the power cable in. They all go up under like this, right? And I've put the cover on now, but I plugged the power cable in, USB-C, which powers the USB 3 ports, and the display port cable. Haven't yet connected that to the computer, so I'm going to do that in a second. Yeah, obviously under there you've got your two HDMI ports as well, and like I say, two USB 3s out. There's some criticism online about the finish of this monitor. I think it's fine personally. I think that people's expectations sometimes are a little bit ridiculous. The monitor panel itself looks really good. Obviously the real proof is in what it looks like when it's turned on, how it performs. But the stand is good. Yeah, it's got like the same plasticky kind of finish here as it does on the back here. But, you know, like at the end of the day, it's the back of the panel. Why does it need... It looks all right. Like, it might not feel the best, but what do you want to do? Do you want to pay $3,000 and have like, you know, have like a brushed aluminium thing on the back? It's pointless. You don't see it. You've got obviously the RGB lighting. I'm pretty sure this is RGB anyway. The reason I say that is because my other panel is Ultra Gear and that is RGB there. So I'm not that interested in all that though. I'm really interested in what it runs like as a gaming monitor. So how it performs. Right, so now I'm going to plug that in and we'll boot it up. Right. Now, I don't know why my phone is picking up the flicker, but trust me, it's not flickering. Well, at least I can't see the flicker. Maybe it's just something to do with the camera. I don't know. But I just thought I'd show you like what it says about the display. So variable refresh rate supported 48 Hz to 165 Hz. I've turned HDR on. I didn't have it on before because my other monitor, although it supported it, it wasn't really good enough for HDR. Hopefully this will be, should be. Yeah, so you can see the resolution there, etc, etc. Now when I first turned this on, besides the initial kind of connection trouble that sort of sorted itself, I then had the issue of trying to figure out where the settings were. It turns out there's a button right under the back here. It's right at the back. So there's one at the front which changes the display mode from the, you know, the lower resolution sort of 330 hertz mode to the 165 hertz, you know, 5K option. But yeah, I couldn't figure that out, and then I was like, this is why you should read instructions, fellas, right? Basically, and ladies, you should, yeah. So there's a button right at the back. Now on the older LG models, it's literally like on the smaller panels, it's right at the bottom here. It's literally under the bottom, under the A here, and you just push it up. But on this, it's literally at the back, tiny little button, and you can just press it, and then you've got all your settings menu in here. Anyway, while I was having a look, I noticed that on the sides of the screen there were some hang on, I'll just show you that. So yeah, you can see in there like 165 hertz adaptive sync on, HDR on, DAS mode on. Right, I mean, you've got all your settings in there. I am going to have a good play around with that later, because obviously I don't know what this has got different to my other panel. But yeah, anyway, what I noticed was when I turned it on was at the sides of the screen there was some like vertical lines just down here on both sides. Anyway, I got a bit of a panic on, and I thought, oh dear, have I got a duff one? But I had a quick Google search, and I noticed on Reddit that several other people had said that they'd had this issue, either where the lines were being displayed horizontally or vertically, and a Pixel Refresh sorted it. There's a couple of people said that 2 sorted it. I find it a bit odd for something that's just come out of the box to do that, but it has sorted it. So yeah, so what I'm going to do, I mean, obviously, like I say, my camera's not really, it doesn't really do this panel justice, but I am just going to run a game on it and just see sort of what it looks like. I might load Space Marine 2, so let's see how we get on with that. Right guys, so a bit of Space Marine 2, just to show you settings. So display resolution, so I'm effectively running the native resolution, but I have got the render resolution, so DLSS and quality, which basically lowers the resolution to 1.5 times the resolution, it says there, with upscaling. I haven't got like DLSS frame gen turned on, but I have got lossless scaling frame gen on, which is, people criticise it a little bit, like, there's not a lot, I don't think that many people know about it really. But the thing about it is basically you can add frame gen to just about any game you want. You know, if you've got a 30 FPS game, you can make it up to 60 FPS with these fake frames. They're just absolutely killing everything that Heavy's getting well stuck in. So you can make these frames up. And it's nice because if you've got like a game which is really CPU intensive, like this for example, where my frames, I mean, like at the moment they're at 39, 42. I mean, I'm not averaging that, but when it gets hectic like this, even on, you know, console, whatever, it's a very CPU demanding game, just purely because of the amount of, well, you can see the amount of mobs on screen. It's just, it gets silly. I mean, and this isn't even as bad as it gets sometimes. But this is a CPU intensive game, and like loss of scaling, like it will give you a bit of like blur if you drop too low, below 60. So I will get more blur on here than what I would use if I wasn't using it, or if I was using, say, DLSS, which I could use, to be fair, instead of. I mean, maybe that would be the smart thing to do. But the nice thing about using lossless is because I'm offsetting it onto a second graphics card, it doesn't have any performance impact on my main card, which is really nice. So I can then just use my main GPU to just do, you know, all the work without being affected by having to generate frame gen or anything like that. Yeah. So this bit, right? So these statues come down here, and it's really quite graphically challenging. Not just graphically, but with CPU, I think. And I did, when I first tried this, it did nearly crash on me. But it looks, I think we're good here. 46, 44, 47. Yeah, no, it's fine. Frame rate held out.
Yeah, but really oddly, it just had a moment. I think it's more of a reflection on the game than it is anything else, because this game is as well optimised as it's become since it's been out. It's still not as perhaps optimised as it could be. Now, I don't mind the bit of blur that you get with loss of scaling, because I think it's a reasonable compromise when you get it, because you don't really see it like all the time. I mean, you kind of do around HUD elements and stuff a little bit, but how often are you looking at those? But it's like, if I can have, I mean, because effectively this looks like you know, 100. It's like a perceived 160 odd FPS, right? Even though actually I'm only generating somewhere between, you know, 30 and probably 60 FPS at these kind of settings. No, sure, like I could lower the graphic settings and get that up a bit, but why would I want to do that? Like, I want it to look as good as it can, while still being like as playable as possible, yeah. And like, I mean, you can see, okay, like there's not vast amounts of input lag off this. Like, there's probably a little bit. I'm not saying I'd be happy playing competitive shooters like this, like proper competitive. I mean, this is obviously co-op, so it's not a big deal really. Yeah, so having that kind of like fake performance, if you will, I'll take it all day, just for, you know, for the sake of a little bit of blurring. It's fine. So I've got to say, like, this monitor, I'm running it in the HDR sort of certified mode, which is the Gamer 1 profile, and it's not as bright as you can make it. I'm not even sure whether I've got the monitor set up as well as it could be. Like, it's almost, well, it is basically running out of the box settings, and I haven't had enough time to really mess with it yet, because, you know, life is busy and stuff, and I haven't got anywhere near as much time to game as I would like to. Yeah. But I think you'll probably agree that, bearing in mind I'm recording this on my phone, this YouTube video, it does actually look pretty damn good. Yeah. It's so immersive. My one complaint probably with this game, and as you can see, like where the health bars are and stuff, is that you can't spread the HUD out anymore. And it's kind of just as well that it disappears after a little while, because yeah, like that. I mean, it's so much more immersive like that than it is when they're there. You know, I feel like the developers kind of overlooked that a bit, but then they probably weren't expecting too many people to be playing on monitors like this. I don't know why, because they're going to become more and more mainstream all the time. Oh, and then you got hit by the sniper. These guys are absolutely destroying. Probably two of the best players I've grouped with on here, to be fair. Like, I'm just slacking. It's not going to look good on the scoreboards, fellas. We got in here anything? Eugene Seed. Have they got it? Have they picked it up? Yeah, they have. They've already got it. Not one of us has used a stim yet. That's how much they've been owning. We'll see how we get on. So this is the boss on this particular operation. This guy's being very slow. What was he doing? Here we go. Come on, let's go. The Hive Tyrant? The ball looks like taking him on. Get some. There we go. Right, this is the first phase done. Owned him. He's getting his health up now. So he does this weird like green thing that you have to dodge. There we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I want to get another stomping on him. That does a lot of damage, that stomp. Whoa, you don't like me. got me. Ah, sorry, it's down. Too easy. There we go. There we go, guys. So yeah, might load up something else now. Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's my camera that's picking up that flicker, if you can see that flicker. I don't know, but I can't see it when I'm playing the game, so I don't know what that means. Whether it's a refresh rate issue with my phone or something, maybe I need to film at different frame rate. I have no idea, but yeah. We'll try something else. Right guys, I figured I'd try and show something a bit older. This seemed appropriate. There are some like widescreen fixes out for this, so if you've never tried them and you want to play this on a newer PC, you can. You've just got to look for the right stuff. Yes, right. Let's see how we get on. This game is notoriously not that well optimised, so hopefully I won't get any crash issues or anything like that, or frame rate drops that are obvious. This is just running like default. I haven't got frame gen on or anything, so we'll see how we go. Such a classic. See, now this is what I love about PC. You know, people are like, oh, I kept my Xbox 360 version. Oh, I paid 40 quid for it. Yeah, well, you know, you can't play it like this, can you? Oh, it's the definitive version. Oh, is it? Is it really? Yeah. And this is the nice thing about PC, is like you can literally just run stuff however you want. You know, every time you buy a new PC, or a new upgrade, there's a way of playing it better than you could before. You know, and here we are playing effectively a 20-odd-year-old game in 5K. Bit of a flex, really, isn't it? Can't do that on your PS2, mate. Even with your scaler, if you've got one. But that's the thing. I mean, you can go back. You can load up. You might have an Xbox Series X or a PS5, and you think, oh, I know, I'm going to play Tomb Raider not Tomb Raider, Need for Speed 2015. You know, the reboot. Yeah, well, enjoy playing that at 30 FPS and sub 1080p. And here I am playing Most Wanted at 5K. 60 FPS, mate. And actually, it's running really well. Come on, Razor, keep up, buddy. Oh. That is the nice thing about like older games. If they've got decent communities, they do. You know, obviously this is one of the sort of favourites for the Need for Speed franchise, but you do get like a lot of mods and things that are updated to make them work on newer systems. You don't have to be running them on hardware of the time. What a car. So yeah, I don't know if you can still see that flicker or not. Like, I genuinely I can't see it while I'm playing this. Oh, it's the po-po. Nino. Get out of my way. I remember playing this like on my PC back in the day. I can't remember, what did I have? I had a... I'm trying to think what graphics card I had. I had some sort of like Radeon, I think, at the time. Of its era. And I remember just playing this and just thinking like, my god, it looks good. Well, to be fair, it's holding up pretty well now. Whoa! It was always about the gameplay on this game though, wasn't it? It's like Underground. Not as in the game's like Underground, although there's similarities, but just the way they play. People crave for a new Need for Speed like this, but I feel like it's a difficult thing to replicate. In the sense that it's not that they couldn't make it, it's just that if you were to produce it today, people would criticise it and say it felt really dated. Yeah. Little cutscene here. Obviously, I was going to say obviously they're not to scale, but these ones are. This widescreen fix does a really good job of like keeping the aspect ratio right, or as close to right as you're going to get. I think we'll do this one more and then we'll try something else. It always amazes me on this game how fast you can go around corners, like without losing grip. It's a bit kind of like, oh, it's not that realistic, mate. Mind you, Need for Speed was never supposed to be realistic. I'm a big fan of the drifting in the new games. I mean, particularly, I say the new games, the newer games, the sort of the Hot Pursuit onwards kind of era. I've got to say, this is running really well. I actually think this is running better than it did at 4K. Like, I haven't noticed any like stutter, like proper stutter. It's running spot on. I think this one's in the bag. It's in the bag, isn't it? Whoops. And there you have it. There you have it.
Good run. I like your style. Just make sure you watch your back with these guys, alright? See you around.
Oh, it's Razor. Should we just fight him? We'll just do this one.
I'm glad you're putting it down out there. I really am. I can't wait to get cracking that ride. But did anybody
He's all serious at me. Like, he wants to get him. He wants to get my car, you know. Because we all know what's going to happen next, right? Like, this isn't going to end well for me. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get a perfect start this time. He's pretty quick, old Razor. Right, we've got a bit of a lead on him. There we go. It doesn't actually matter on this race because this is all just part of the intro. Little sharpish corner coming up there. He's got me. No, he hasn't. got to go for it. Please. Nina. Oh. It's very dramatic, isn't it? I swear these are more dramatic than what they are in the newer games. Couple of right angled turns here. Oh, he's really quick through there. I've got to say, I'm really impressed with how this is running. But, you know, I suppose it should run alright, shouldn't it? It's a very old game. It's definitely the smoothest I've seen it run, like on newer computers. Something wrong with my car. Oh no. What's going to happen? This is terrible. I don't know how I'm going to cope. I need to win this race. Oh lads, my engine. It's gone. And now we're stuck with the first car. What should we buy? I mean, that's not supposed to be there, is it? Makes the game a lot easier though. I'm actually quite a fan of the Cobalt. We'll go with that. Let's go to the safe house. What a classic soundtrack. There we go, and I think we'll save it there, chaps. Let's pick something else, shall we? Right, guys, one last little look. Bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. This is not running with any frame gen on, and it is pretty much cranked to max. The only thing is I've got FSR set on like performance, and I haven't got like the MSAA turned on reflections because I just think it's a bit pointless. Otherwise everything is cranked up to max, so this is like really pushing my system. Like I say, old CPU and 5080, so you know, so it's asking a lot, right? It's like literally 5k max settings. Anyway, I benched it just before showing you this, and it's probably averaging about 60 FPS at these settings. Obviously you could get it higher if you like toned it down a little bit, but the whole kind of point of it is you're trying to get the best image quality, right? Like, I have like definitely run into some hookup issues with lossless scaling since switching to this resolution. Like World of Warcraft caused me problems. This doesn't seem to like the frame gen at 5k. I don't know why. I suppose it's just as well like more and more games are getting native frame gen, but I really like lossless scaling, so it'd be good if they could kind of get it working with more resolutions. Not that it doesn't work with them, it's just that perhaps it's not hooking up properly with DirectX 12 or whatever, I don't know, but I've definitely run into more issues with these resolutions than I did before. But to be honest, like, this is running really nice. It's more than playable enough. I mean, when you think that on like console it currently only runs at like 30 FPS, Valentine. Yeah. So the only thing I'm noticing with this panel is when I drop below like 48 frames, you do get kind of a little bit of like screen tearing if you haven't got frame gen on, mainly because I'm not using VSync right, but that is one thing to consider, is if you're really sensitive to like screen tearing with VRR or like G-Sync or whatever, just bear in mind that if you do drop below like 48 frames, you are going to get a little bit if you haven't got those like VSync or anything turned on. I don't like having vertical sync turned on, so, but it's not like enough really to be a massive problem on this. But it would be if you were running at much lower, you know, if you were barely getting above say 40 FPS or whatever, you're going to get way more screen tearing than I'm getting. But then saying that, if you're above it all the time, then you're going to get less. Right, I've just got a couple of more things I want to show you. I'm going to turn this off now. Right, so I've just changed the zoom on my phone. You've obviously got the two buttons under here, one which does your kind of like all your options, and the other one here which is just to the left, so one sort of in the middle there where my middle finger is, and then with my index finger you've got a button here. It's literally a one press button and it's pretty cool. Basically this enables you to switch between the 5K 2K option, the native resolution at 165 Hz, or you can literally go to like the 1080p equivalent like this. It's literally one press. Probably worth doing before you go into game rather than with it, and that will then change it to effectively 1080p. And if I just show you in the settings, it will say settings, and then settings, general, information, right? So there you go. Look, it's 2560 by 1080 at 330 Hz. And if you were to press it again, right, go back, and then go back into information. Oh, dual mode deactivated. There we go. Right, so settings, general, information. Okay. So there we go. Right. It says I've used it for 14 hours, which in fairness I have, because I've been playing this in between making this video, and there's numerous issues I've run into and stuff. So, yeah, it's taken me about a week to actually put this together so far. And the other thing was also in here, you've got, so if you go settings, where is it? I can't remember now. Settings. It's in this dual mode, right? So you've got multiple choices. You've got like full wide, 16 by 9, 37 inch mode. So like this, for example, I'll just show you. Which basically means you can like change the scale of the screen at any one point. So that's like having a 37-inch monitor, yeah. I suppose 4K equivalent. Like, let's just have a look. So if we go general again, down to information, yeah. So it's like playing at 4K 165 Hz monitor at 16 by 9. So that is basically what a 37-inch monitor would look like, right? Then you've got on full wide. I'm just trying to think what that is. I think that's the one. Yeah, so that's the 330 Hz mode, right? Like you can see that there. Then you've got 39-inch 21 by 9 equivalent. Yeah. On 34-inch, so 21 by 9, 16 by 9, 37. So this is all at the 330 Hz modes, yeah. So off and off are your full scale modes, and then on are your 330 Hz modes. So you'd like say 4 wide, 21 by 9, 39 inch, 21 by 9, 34 inch, 16 by 9, 37 inch, 16 by 9, 27 inch, 16 by 9, 24 inch. So that's the smallest you can go.
at 330 hertz, which, like, if you're going to play like a competitive shooter, that might actually be like quite a good option. I mean, man, like, look at that. That's 24 inch. Look how small it is. Mental. Yeah. But we don't. We want to just play it on native. Right, so this is the last thing I want to show you. So this is a 5K, 2K test video on YouTube. I think it's actually an LG video, so it's quite appropriate, really. But I can honestly say this is the first time I've sat in front of a monitor and thought, and I could easily watch a movie on this and be completely immersed. Especially if I sat like closer to it. I mean, at the moment I'm over a metre away from it. I mean, the phone itself is like over a metre away from it. There's a big gap between us and the monitor right now. But like the blacks are like properly black. The colours are really good. The motion is good. Again, I don't know if you can see any flicker or not. I'd imagine you can probably see some, but I can't. And it looks really good. I should add that I'm not using the speakers currently, so if you're listening to the speakers or whatever, and you can't really gauge it off the phone, I know, but I'm not using the speakers on the monitor. I'm using the ones that are to the side of the display, as you can see. I'm not going to sit there and listen. I don't care how good they are, quite honestly. It's a monitor. I don't even know why they bothered putting speakers in. When I see people whinging about monitors not having speakers in, it's like, it's a monitor, mate. If you wanted sound, you should have bought a television. You know, but anyone who's like using a PC to any kind of decent standard should have a decent pair of speakers. It's just not worth skimping out on them. And they're not that much anyway. You can buy yourself a decent set of like cheap studio monitors like what I've got for like about 100 quid. It's just, you know, and they're really good. As is this display. So yeah, basically, guys, I do recommend this monitor. Like, I'm really glad I bought it. Like, really glad. It is a lot of money, so, you know, like, if it's too much for your budget, don't. But what I would say is definitely consider one of these 21x9s, because I do honestly think they are the sweet spot in terms of aspect ratio. You've got so much more width, and yet you get all the benefits of like having a you know, like, I mean, if you're playing at 4K or whatever, you've got all the benefits of 4K, but with all that extra width. Whereas you go for something ultra wide, and the chances are you're not going to get something that is 4K, and if you do, it's probably going to be really, really hungry to run. If you start going into like 31x9 or whatever is it 31 or 32x9? Yeah, not for me, I'm afraid. This just seemed like the smart choice. And yeah, sure, like I say, it is a lot of money, but you get what you pay for. So if you are thinking about it, particularly if you're running a really high-end rig, just do it. Do yourself a favour and just get it. You've spent all that money on your computer, so just spend it on your monitor as well. Don't cheap out on a monitor. And equally, don't go all out on a monitor if you haven't got a decent PC. It's just not economically or even sensible. But like, look at that. Look how good that looks. I kind of want that as my desktop background. That looks immense. I'm just going to leave you with this for a moment.
Apologies about the squeaky door.
But yeah, like, I have no idea if that looks as good to you as it does to me. It probably doesn't, but trust me, it looks really, really, really good. And if I was like a proper content creator, like, I'd probably be able to demonstrate better why it is so good. I have no clue. Yeah. Honestly, I can't see of any downsides to this panel whatsoever, other than the fact that maybe if like size is an issue, if you haven't got enough space on your desk. I mean, I'm fortunate that I've got a pretty big desk, right? But if you haven't got a big one, then maybe reconsider. Because it is massive. And I mean, like, as you can see, like from my old monitor, which is now here, so that's a 32-inch 4K job, but you get the idea just how much bigger the 45 is. Like, look at it. So there's a 27 there, there's a 32 there, and that's a 45. Yeah. It's pretty big. Alright guys, going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this if you watched it all the way to the end. Yeah, I'm not going to ask for any likes, but if you did like it, give it a like, yeah? No, don't. It's all good. I don't care either way. But thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And please know that I did buy this monitor myself. It is not sponsored by LG. Please don't accuse me of that, because that is really, really irritating when people start saying, oh, you've been paid. No, I haven't. I bought this out of my own money. Get a life. Don't be sad. I'll try not to leave it as long next time.